Do you hear something? Do you hear anything? Do we hear any words from Mary Simon, our Governor General? No, we don't. No, we don't. It is January 22nd as I'm recording this video, and you might have noticed that yesterday Pierre Poilievre put out this statement. It says, "We have an emergency. Reopen Parliament now." And he's attached a letter. The Honourable Pierre Poilievre, leader of the Conservative Party of Canada and the official opposition, released the following statement on the threat of tariffs from the US. Canada is facing a critical challenge. On February 1st, we are facing the risk of unjustified 25% tariffs by our largest trading partner that would have damaging consequences across our country. There's more. I'll let you guys read it. But what I'm going to address is this last paragraph. Common sense conservatives are calling for Trudeau to reopen Parliament now, to pass new border controls, agree on trade retaliation, and prepare a plan to rescue Canada's weak economy. The Prime Minister has the power to ask the Governor General to cut short prorogation and get our Parliament working. Open Parliament, take back control, put Canada first. The Prime Minister has the power, but also the Governor General has the power. Let's not forget about that. We learned that in a previous video.
And then, so when a Prime Minister goes to the Governor General and asks to prorogue Parliament, the Governor Generals have very, very little role in our system aside from giving out awards, and that's a good thing, right? That gone are the days when we have kind of monarchs who have real power, but they have really one major power that they still need to wield, and this is the reserve power to essentially say to a Prime Minister, mostly, yes, you can dissolve Parliament, we can call a new election, etc., except in cases, which is exactly what this case is, where a Prime Minister does not hold the confidence of Parliament. Probably very few people know this. I doubt even the Governor General herself knows a lot about her role here, is that her role here was to say no.
And I have heard nothing from Mary Simon. In fact, I am combing the internet looking for some statement from Mary Simon. I can't find a damn thing. You think that even her people, if you go on Twitter on the Governor General's website, which I have done, and I can show you in a sec what I found, even there, they could put out a statement saying, we are thinking about it. They can say the usual BS line they always say is, we are taking this matter seriously. We take this into full consideration or something. We are taking the matter very seriously, and we plan to release a statement by the end of the week. Okay, at least just say something like that. But it's crickets. This woman, Mary Simon, says nothing. In fact, the only thing that I could find her say is some letter to Canadians that was just very saccharine, stereotypical Canadian crap in it, and almost every image, I mean, some of it was nice, I gotta say, right? Okay, you know, they had Canadiana images in it that we all know and like, right? But it was just, why are you putting this out? This basically says nothing meaningful, nothing relevant.
Dear Canadians, chers Canadiens et Canadiennes, as we embark on a new year, I think back on the significant moments Canadians experienced in 2024. In the retrospective atmosphere of the season, I invite you to ponder an important question. As Canadians, what does hope mean to you?
Hope means to us that, well, we hope that you're going to start doing the right thing to get our Parliament and our government back on track and back in order. That's what it means first. You can show us all these nice little images of Canada. As you can see in that video, there's no real images of people lining up at food banks, of people in homeless tents, homeless shelters, of the rampant drug problem. There's no drug dens in this video. Well, of course there wouldn't be, but there's no, you know, it's showing people doing extracurricular things, but a lot of people don't have the money to put their kids in basketball, ballet, soccer even. And I'm hearing now that people are, like, I have 2 teenage boys. So when I buy groceries for them, I'm often buying things for them that I know they're going to eat. Like, I don't eat these things. Like, I could, but what I'm saying is a lot of, like, if you're going to buy 4 steaks or something like that, I often might not buy something for myself because I'd rather just them have it. But that's not because I can't afford it. I do have a job, but I'm saying that people are parents are doing that. They're sacrificing, I think, food on the table for themselves or meals for themselves in order to give to their kids. You know, just that's how tight it is. It's really tight for people. I don't see any of that addressed in this video. Let's see what else she has to say.
I am encouraged to see survivors, elders, and so many people supporting each other as we work to recognize Canada's true national history. I am also hearing more about remarkable mental health initiatives taking place across Canada.
What are they? All I ever hear about is MAID.
There are also people in Canada who are doing groundbreaking.
Oh, see that? See this? That's not a mistake. I'm not sure the gender even. I don't even know. I love the fact that Trump basically said there's only two genders, and Pierre did an interview recently about this too. It was pretty cool. It was someone I think from City News. I used to work there too, but
work to make social media platforms safer.
Social media platforms safer? How about you work on making the government safer with all their policies and mandates and things that they did to people? That's the first place you need to start.
Through all my conversations this year, I have witnessed Canadians working to build bridges between cultures and to bring people together.
Is that what you've witnessed? I think it's even gotten worse. We used to not care about race at all, and now people are really annoyed with all the immigration. Look, this is just a bunch of pandering, saccharine, virtue signaling fluff is what this is. Really, let's get down to what your role should be. Now, Mary Simon, she's going to hate me if she ever meets me, but the internet tells me this. I was asking it about the role of the Governor General. The Canadian Governor General plays a largely ceremonial role as the representative of the King, Canada's head of state. However, the Governor General does have formal constitutional powers referred to as reserve powers, which can be used in extraordinary circumstances. I would say that that's where we are. These powers include appointing the Prime Minister, dissolving or proroguing Parliament, and ensuring that the government has the confidence of the House of Commons. Okay, so they talks more about the role, her role, ceremonial duties, constitutional duties, but it does say summoning, proroguing, and dissolving Parliament on the advice of the Prime Minister. Okay, it doesn't always have to be on the advice of the Prime Minister, as we're learning, because it says reserve powers. Okay, so it is part of Mary's job to ensure, I mean, this is a lot for this woman. I think this is like well above her head, you know, ensuring her role is to ensure there is a functioning government, typically respecting the principle of responsible government. Reserve powers. This is the key. Reserve powers. Exercising independent judgment in exceptional situations, such as when a prime minister loses confidence in the House but refuses to resign. Or a prime minister requests prorogation or dissolution of parliament in controversial or unprecedented circumstances. But another role that this woman has is that she's supposed to be politically neutral. The Governor General must remain apolitical and avoid being perceived as taking sides in partisan disputes. Intervening in parliamentary gridlock could create controversy or constitutional crisis, but she's got to come up with alternative solutions. This is all part of her job. It is up to the political parties and elected officials to resolve parliamentary issues through debate, negotiation, or public accountability, such as elections. Reserve powers are a last resort, typically invoked only during constitutional crises, such as when no party can form a government or if there is an extreme abuse of executive power. I would say that's where we're at. And I would say that this woman, I mean, Pierre, again, is writing to her to do something, make a statement, do something. She's supposed to be apolitical. I mean, does it all sit on her shoulders to get something done? Or is she still going to be the lapdog of Trudeau, even after all this? I mean, she's got to say, get back to it, get on with it. That Jagmeet Singh also said that no matter who becomes a Liberal leader, he's not going to support that person anyway. I mean, it is such a mess. And here in this province, David Eby, his tactic for dealing with Trump is, let's not buy any liquor. Let's not buy any American liquor. Let's not even go down and go shopping or visit the US or support the US. Really, David Eby, this is the battle you want to wage? You want to like destroy the relationship between North and South economically and in spirit? That's what you want to do? This is your advice? From you are the worst. Ugh, you are an inept giraffe that this you think is going to be the solution to the problem.
The bottles are lined up deep from Kentucky, California, and other places across the United States. Products now at the center of a rapidly escalating trade war.
The government of British Columbia liquor stores are one of the biggest purchasers of American alcohol products. I think the government of Ontario's liquor stores are maybe the biggest purchasers.
On Tuesday, BC Premier David Eby says the province is considering restricting the BC Liquor Distribution Branch from purchasing and stocking American alcohol as retaliation if tariffs come into effect. Just one potential action.
We have unique relationships with the United States in terms of being the connector to Alaska, in terms of being a major purchaser of American alcohol, in terms of our provision of electricity down the west coast of the United States through electricity sales at peak points.
U.S. President Donald Trump says the 25% tariff on Canadian goods will go into effect February 1st. If they do indeed, Eby says British Columbians should also reconsider travel plans.
We should really be thinking carefully about spending our money in that country. It's a bit heartbreaking to say it, to tell you the truth, because of our relationship.
I mean, electricity or preventing the liquor distribution branch from selling American liquor. These things are not going to work. They are only going to hurt us. They're only going to hurt us in BC. And discouraging travel plans and telling people not to spend their money in that country, as he puts it, that's going to hurt us also. It's going to work both ways, David Eby. If you discourage from Canadians from going down there, Americans are not going to want to come up here. And no longer is it going to be beautiful BC. It's going to be bummed out BC. And we're already there. You should want to clean up the drug problems. You're going to take away what people's Jack Daniels and Jim Beam and Smirnoff or whatever Anyway, Miss Mary, we are waiting for you to do something. Make a move, girl. Play your hand. Use your reserve power. If you don't know what anyone's talking about, you should know by now. Where are your handlers giving you advice? Start researching. Get in there and have the balls to make a decision. We don't have time for your silence. But before I go, I want to leave you with a little bit of this. It was because it was so funny. This exchange between Pierre Poilievre and this City News reporter talking to him. What he's trying to do is say, yeah, obviously you agree with the two gender thing, don't you? And it was really funny how this backfired on this guy.
Only recognizing two genders, male, female. They're unchanged. On his first day on the job, President Trump signed an executive order. The U.S. government only recognizing two genders, male, female. They're unchangeable. If elected as prime minister, is that something that you're going to kind of walk in line with, or what are your feelings on that executive order?
Well, I don't know. Do you have any other genders that you'd like to name?
Love it.
Me personally?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just asking more so if you're in line with what he is saying. Do you agree with what he's saying? Is that something that you would be lockstep with if elected as prime minister?
Lockstep. You're lockstep.
Well, I'm not aware of any other genders than men and women. I mean, if you have any other that you want me to consider, you're welcome to tell me right now.
Well, there's personally, I am a man. I am as
okay.
People who say cis man.
Good,
there are people there who they say they're.
Me too.
Cis man. Any man, you should not go around saying cis man. It's almost like saying sissy. You've basically emasculated yourself by using that term. Stop using that term. Get rid of it. It's stupid. You are a man. It's not about being inclusive. This is dumb.
Well,
Gender neutral.
Well,
you are a man. Yes, there are people out there who say they're gender neutral. Yeah, they say they're gender neutral. They're trans.
How can you be gender neutral? That's just a bunch of bullshit. And it's about time we start saying this in 2025. I'm not going to not say this. It's anatomy. It's biology. You know what body parts you were born with. That's what you are. You know what male and female is.
Person, is that something that you would recognize here? Whereas in the States, at least with their U.S. government, the way they're seeing it, there's only two.
I'm only aware of 2, but I mean, if you come up with another list, then you're welcome to do that. But I'm aware of 2. And as far as I'm concerned, we should have a government that just minds its own damn business and leaves people alone to make their own personal decisions.
That's right. Stay out of my life and my business. The things that go on at my kids' school with the jabs and the mature minor consent. It's a gong show. It's disgusting. That's actually worth another video. Stay out of my life. I really hate my kids' high school and what they did recently.
That's the kind of government I'm going to run.
And with that, the current government, they currently have passports that allow people to put on, gender neutral on their passport. Advocate groups want the government, mind you, the outgoing government, to ask the U.S., would the U.S. recognize these passports, obviously on their way out, if you are the next prime minister? Is that something that you would advocate for?
I have to be honest.
Yeah.
I have to be honest with you.
This is fantastic, this part. This is really brings home how stupid this line of questioning is.
I just saw your segment on homeless encampments that are popping up all over Toronto. We've got 25% of our population in poverty. Housing costs have doubled. Crime is rampaging through our streets. I just find it to be a strange priority to spend time talking about this. My priority is to give people back control of their lives, bring back Canada's promise that anyone who works hard gets a powerful paycheck and pension that buys affordable food, gas, and homes in safe neighborhoods. That's the promise we need for Canadians. If Liberals want to talk about different labels for gender that they want to put on passports in the United States, they can do that. I'm going to talk about the things that will bring home Canada's promise.
How can you argue with that? How can you argue with that? Okay, everybody, thank you for watching this video today. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like what I'm doing, and more to come from me. I really enjoy making these videos. I really enjoy reading your comments and engaging with you all, and I'm so grateful to be doing this at this time in my life. Okay, I'll catch you next time. Thanks.